satisface. Y bueno, esperamos que el resultado también sea lo que ustedes esperan de nosotros. Bueno, la pareja Don Was at Cherney, aparte de ser grandes creativos, son los productores más simpáticos que nos hemos topado en nuestra carrera musical. Es realmente muy relajante trabajar con ellos, te la pasas muerto de risa todo el día. Y bueno, crean un ambiente de trabajo tal que pues fluyes mejor, ¿no? No estás tenso, no estás preocupado, no estás ansioso. Te dejan ir a tu ritmo, sacan lo mejor de ti, no tratan de que tú toques como otra gente que no eres, ¿no? Sino simplemente tratan de que cada uno de los involucrados en el proyecto den lo mejor de cada uno. Ya sea nosotros los generadores o bien los músicos que vienen a tocar para una canción como fue Billy Preston o Paulinho. Saben buscar lo que necesita cada canción y lo que uno tiene que puede servir para la canción, ¿no? Lo que solamente uno puede aportar a esa canción. Es un poco difícil de explicarlo, pero espero me hayan entendido. Otra cosa muy interesante de su forma de trabajar es que muchas cosas surgían de accidente y se quedaban, ¿no? Como que los accidentes podían ser muy buenos aliados. Más que buscar la perfección, se buscaba la manifestación del inconsciente muchas veces a través de esos accidentes. Muchas tomas las dejamos de primera intención porque había algo en esas tomas que era muy valioso, aunque no eran perfectas en cuanto a la técnica. Hablaban otras cosas, ¿no? Otros lenguajes. Creo que eso también es muy muy importante del proceso de grabación y de producción con estas gentes.
Hello, my name is Don Was. I'm a record producer and a musician. I've worked with a number of artists ranging from the Rolling Stones and Bob Dylan to Elton John and Neil Diamond. But the true apex of my career has been my involvement with Los Jaguares, the artists formerly known as Caifanes. Working with Jaguares was really it's the first time that I've worked with artists from Mexico. I think probably the Spanish language, my deficiency in the Spanish language prevented me from really appreciating a lot of music. But when I heard the new songs that Saúl had written for this album, and they were subsequently translated for me, I felt that he was, one of the greatest songwriters in rock and roll, and it was really the quality of the songs that attracted me first to working with this band. Beyond that, I became really excited when I saw the way music was appreciated in Mexico. That music fans took rock and roll very seriously, and that the musicians had tremendous integrity. I don't think that's really true any longer in the United States. I think it's really much more about selling not just selling records, but selling T-shirts and selling beer with people's picture on it and all of that. And I think that in Mexico, the rock and roll really means something to people's lives, and that's becomes more meaningful to be a part of that. Detrás de los cerros contains, I think, less spiritual and political import probably than Dime Jaguar, but at the same time I think it's it's more intensely personal. I feel that it's a much more emotional song. It's probably as dramatic a love song as I've ever heard in rock and roll before. I think that's what you look for in any song is emotion that jumps off the tracks, and this thing has such an intensity, not just not just written into the lyrics, but also in Saúl's vocal interpretation. That it's one of the most intense love songs I've ever heard. Oh, and I like the accordion too. This was a fun record to make. I mean, it was very relaxed. There was no tension at all. I don't think that there was any kind of argument or anyone really had strong negative feelings at any point in making this record. Everyone got along really well, and I think that that's evident in the tracks. When I listen to the mixes now, what I hear is a band they're really good at what they do. They didn't need anyone to sit there and tell them, what guitar parts to play, or what drum beats to play, or how to sing a song. They know what they're doing, and they really know how. They probably don't need a producer at all. But really, it was just the important thing here was to create a relaxed environment in which the band could feel creative and do their best work. And I hear that relaxation when I listen to the tracks. This is I think this is a band at the peak of their form creatively and musically. They play really well together, and I think that's the first thing you notice, that there aren't a lot of overdubs. That you listen to the record and you hear two guitars and a bass and a drum, and that's most of the music on there. And the interplay and the intuitive relationship between the musicians here is really powerful. So I hear a band relaxed and confident. Although this is very much a band album, I think that the song Detrás de los cerros really is the one place where we augmented the orchestration a little bit, and we were very fortunate to get a very bizarre array of guest stars on one song. We have both Billy Preston, who playing the organ, who Billy Preston basically invented contemporary organ playing. I think rock and roll organ playing. Started as a gospel musician and played with Ray Charles and Little Richard, which is where he met the Beatles in Hamburg in 1961, and played on Let It Be and Abbey Road. And I guess people know who Billy Preston is. And but you never heard Billy Preston on the same track as Flaco Jimenez, as far as I know. And Flaco very graciously consented to come in and play on this while he was on tour with Texas Tornadoes. And additionally, there's some percussion by Paulinho da Costa, who is a Brazilian percussionist who's highly renowned in a lot of jazz circles. Not only as a session musician, where he played on all these Quincy Jones, and plays on everybody's records, Michael Jackson records and all that, but also he played in Weather Report, and is quite highly acclaimed as a jazz musician as well. So it's a pretty eclectic blend of people, and it's remarkable that they not only blend so well together, but blend into the fabric of Los Jaguares as well, without really compromising the band's identity. They add some startlingly diffuse influences to the thing. Well, when you go into a Japanese restaurant, they put some ginger on the plate, and that's to cleanse your palate between different courses of the meal, so that you fully appreciate what came before, and then start out change the atmosphere and start out with a fresh new taste approach. So on this record we include some musical ginger in the form of some well-placed musical interludes that really aren't they're not songs per se. They're more textural pieces that basically cleanse, well, you wouldn't say your palate, cleanse your ears. You certainly wouldn't say that. Just cleanse your mind for the next course. This is the end.
My initial reaction was, these people must be crazy. We went to church every morning and we prayed. We prayed that the equipment would work and that I would be able to help the lads through their time of need with the equipment working properly and someone that actually knew how to use it. It was a bitch to mix. I spent 2 days. The band was pacing outside the room, wondering when I was going to get done. What's he doing in there? What's he doing in there? I kept hearing. Eventually I had to lock the doors, and I turned off the telephones until I was able to finish it. And after the fire department came and removed the doors from its hinges, the band got to hear the mix, and thankfully they liked it. But I had already left town and gone to Milwaukee. Well, I really never understood a word anyone was saying. I was alone and confused during most of the project. I hope to return to my family soon.